A murder framed in silence can just to survive when truth is buried alive. She's not just fighting a legal case, she's fighting the system that wants her destroyed. A mysterious diary, a dead sister, and a truth more dangerous than lies. When power wears a friendly face, betrayal cuts deeper than any weapon. In a world full of noise, only the voice of faith can uncover hidden justice. Namal novel by Nimrah Ahmed. Namal is a deeply layered Urdu novel inspired partly by the Quranic story of Hazrat Musa as and a character of Kiza as, woven into a modern crime thriller filled with complex characters, suspense, moral dilemmas, romance, and spiritual awakening. The word Namal refers to the Surah An-Naml, the ant in the Quran, which becomes a recurring metaphor throughout the book. Chapter 1, the beginning of a crime. The novel opens with a high-profile murder case involving Faris Ghazi, a former intelligence officer. He is accused of murdering his own wife, Zumar's sister, and her cousin. This devastating incident sets the stage for a legal and emotional roller coaster. Zumar Yusuf, an ambitious and righteous high court lawyer, vows to fight for justice. Chapter 2. Enter Zumar Yusuf. Where introduced to Zumar, Faris's sister-in-law, a sharp and confident lawyer who doesn't believe the charges against Faris. She starts her own investigation to prove his innocence. The chapter highlights her close bond with her nephew, Saadi Youssef, and her struggle against societal pressure. Chapter 3. Saadi and his world. Saadi Youssef is the son of the murdered couple. He is intelligent and sensitive. His relationship with his aunt Sumar is deep and nurturing. Saadi becomes central as a connection between the past crime and current family dynamics. Chapter 4. The Enigma of Hashem Kardar, a multi-layered antagonist, is introduced. He is a corrupt businessman and cousin of Zumar with personal vendettas and secrets. He's central to the conspiracy and manipulates those around him skillfully. Chapter 5. Hina's diary. Zumar finds her sister's old diary, which holds emotional memories and hidden clues. The diary hints at troubling aspects of her relationship with Faris and sparks doubt and curiosity in Zumar's mind. Chapter 6. The hidden Feliciomar uncovers some confidential intelligence files linking Faris to dangerous missions. This chapter mixes espionage with family trauma, making readers question Faris's innocence. Chapter 7. Faris's silence. Faris refuses to speak in court, raising suspicions. However, his silence is strategic. He is planning something deep and dangerous while in jail. His stoicism makes him both mysterious and admirable. Chapter 8. The flashback. We see a flashback of Faris's past missions in intelligence. His patriotism and moral compass are brought to light, giving the reader more reason to believe he may be innocent. Chapter 9. Conflict in the court. Zumar takes her fight to court, presenting compelling arguments and cross-examinations. Hashim's lawyers keep building pressure. Zumar begins facing threats as her case strengthens. Chapter 10. The Lion and the Ants. This chapter delves into Islamic symbolism. A reference to Surah Namal is used as a metaphor for power versus humility, comparing the lion, arrogant oppressors, to the ant, the humble yet wise believers. It reflects on Faris and Zumar's roles. Chapter 11. Saadi. Awakening. Saadi starts questioning everything he has been told. He forms his own bond with Faris in prison, slowly realizing the depth of his father's pain. This chapter brings an emotional intelligence and the legacy of truth. Chapter 12. Shocking twist. Evidence is tampered with. A new witness disappears, and Zumar is almost attacked. The conspiracy runs deeper than she thought. Saadi, too, is targeted. Hashim's control over the system is terrifying. Chapter 13. The secret. Zumar receives a mysterious phone call, hinting that someone inside her circle is betraying her. She becomes cautious, but more determined to unmask the truth. Chapter 14. The Quranic eco-Zumar starts reflecting on her own spiritual emptiness. She turns toward the Quran and Islamic teachings for strength and guidance. This spiritual journey starts becoming a core theme. Chapter 15. Betrayal. A family member close to Zumar is revealed to be part of Hashim's plan. This betrayal shakes her, but she refuses to break. She starts keeping her investigation even more secret. Chapter 16. The Desert Mission. A backstory from Faris's old mission is told, set in a desert with coded messages, betrayal, and a narrow escape. The story draws parallels between his old enemies and current enemies within his own family. Chapter 17. The Hunter and the Prey. Faris starts manipulating his enemies from prison. He writes letters coded with intelligence that only Zumar and Saadi can decode. The mystery intensifies. Chapter 18. The Spy Within. Zumar suspects a spy in the intelligence service helped frame Faris. She tries to expose this mole, but gets blocked. Danger comes closer to her home. Chapter 19. Love in the Shadow. Schumer and Faris's bond deepens, though unspoken. It's clear that Zumar is emotionally drawn to Faris, not just as a relative, but as a man of integrity and quiet strength. Chapter 20. Saadi's resolves. Saadi decides to become a part of the legal battle. He starts studying law with the help of Zumar. He matures. transforming from a confused boy to a purposeful young man. Chapter 2, 1a. Hidden Memorizer finds an old USB with video evidence of Ferris's last day with Hina. The footage raises more questions, but also shows his affection and innocence. Chapter 22. The web of Hashim's past is revealed. His greed, insecurity, and complex psychological trauma. He is not just evil, but a product of power, addiction, and childhood bitterness. Chapter 23. Spiritual strength. Sumar's faith intensifies. She finds power in Surah and Namal, which becomes a personal guide. Her prayers become stronger. She becomes fearless. Chapter 24. The courtroom. Wazamar presents the USB in court, but Hashim's lawyers discredit it. The courtroom scenes are tense and thrilling. Saadi watches in awe as his aunt fights like a lioness. Chapter 25. The mysterious letter from a deceased intelligence officer surfaces. It contains crucial details that could exonerate Ferris, but the letter is hidden in a dangerous location. Chapter 26. The lost location. Zumar and Saadi embark on a risky mission to retrieve the letter. They face betrayal, ambush, and emotional tests. Saadi proves his loyalty and courage. Chapter 27. The letter's revelation. The letter reveals that Ferris was framed by someone close to national power, an enemy masked as a friend. The corruption goes to the top. Chapter 28. The broken system. Zumar realizes the system is broken. Justice won't be served by law alone. She must fight outside the court, too. She begins exposing people in the media. Chapter 29. The gathering storm. Tensions rise. Zumar is attacked again. Ferris is almost poisoned in jail. Saadi is kidnapped, temporarily, but rescued. The storm is brewing. Chapter 30. The light of Namal. Sumar finds a personal connection to the meaning of Namal. The wisdom of ants, the strength in silence, the dignity in humility. She is no longer just a lawyer. She is a force of justice and light. Chapter 31. Return of the ghost-souled enemies re-emerge from the shadows. A coded message hidden in a book belonging to Ferris triggers. A dark trail leading to a forgotten case. Thailand, a long-dead operative who may have faked his death. Chapter 32. Hashim's web widens. Hashim Kardar tightens his control over media and judiciary. His political ambitions surface. A private assassination list reveals Zumar's name at the top, marked for elimination. Ferris warns her using a hidden Quranic code. Chapter 33. The vanishing witness. A critical eyewitness disappears hours before trial. CCTV shows a man in disguise, someone Saadi saw once before. The team realizes they're being watched constantly. No one can be trusted. Chapter 34. Mirror of Fire. Sumar faces a brutal confrontation with her past when she's forced to question her own beliefs. Her courtroom argument shocks everyone. She tears apart the system she once believed in and walks out mid-trial. Chapter 35. The Secret Letter, Part 2. A second hidden letter surfaces, this time encrypted in a language used only by old intelligence circles. It names a mole in the government who orchestrated Ferris's downfall. The truth is explosive. Chapter 36. A game of poison. Ferris survives an assassination attempt in prison. Someone tampered with his food, someone on the inside. Suspicion turns toward his old cellmate, who suddenly disappears the next day. Chapter 37. Zumar's Last Warnings. Zumar's last warnings by powerful forces. Drop the case or lose everything. Her car is rigged to explode. She narrowly escapes. Saadi watches in horror as her enemies begin crossing all red lines. Chapter 38. The Maze of Lies. A map is found, linking all the key characters to a government-funded surveillance project named Keeder. It connects past crimes with current political corruption. The rabbit hole is deeper than expected. Chapter 39. A Father's Confession. Saadi reads a private journal Ferris left behind. In it, Ferris confesses his deepest regret, not a crime, but a choice. It redefines everything Saadi believed about his family and the murder. Chapter 40. The Graveyard Meetings. Mir is summoned by a retired agent to a secret meeting in a graveyard at midnight. What she finds there changes the direction of the entire case. He hands her a weapon and a final mission. Chapter 4:1. The Burning Mass. Hashim's reputation begins to crack. A news leak exposes his early life murders, cover-ups, and stolen identities. He retaliates with full force. One of Zumar's closest allies is abducted. Chapter 42. Unmasking the Mole with the help of Ferris's decrypted file. The mole inside the intelligence agency is revealed. It's someone who played both sides. Now they're coming for Saadi. Chapter 43. Saadi's transformations. Saadi takes control. He sets a trap for the mole, risking his own life. For the first time, he acts not as a child of trauma, but as a warrior of truth. A car chase leads to a shocking capture. Chapter 44. The Judge's Chamber. Zumar confronts a corrupt court judge in private. She records the conversation that links the judiciary to Hashim's empire. But someone leaks her location before she escapes. Chapter 45. The day of blood and ambush. A gunfight. One major character falls. The family is torn apart. It's the darkest day yet. Ferris loses control and nearly breaks his code of silence permanently. Chapter 46, Trial by Fires Omar, brings everything to court evidence, witnesses, and fire. The trial turns into a media sensation. Hashim's legal team fights back brutally. Public opinion shifts, but the war isn't over. Chapter 47, The Hidden Recording and Anonymous Flash. Drive surfaces audio of the night of the murder. The voice isn't Ferris's. The world hears it. Zumar finally sees the cracks in the official story. Chapter 48, The Final Verdict, Part 1. The judge is forced to rule on Ferris's case. But as the court waits for the decision, Zumar receives a phone call. They're coming for Saadi tonight. Chapter 49, The Final Verdict, Part 2. Ferris is found not guilty. But before celebration can begin, gunshots ring outside the court. An attempt is made on Zumar's life. Saadi disappears from the scene. Chapter 50, Saadi's video message is released by Saadi, secretly recorded before his disappearance. He speaks of truth, faith, and the lesson of Surah and Namal. His last words, the ant knew when to speak and when to fight. Asterisk, Chapter 51, Vanished Saadi has disappeared. Zumar is devastated but refuses to panic. The media is flooded with fake theories. Zumar receives a secret video clue from Saadi's encrypted device. Trust no one, not even the ones who act like family. Chapter 52, The Trap. Ferris is released from jail, but danger surrounds him. His first mission: find Saadi before it's too late. Zumar and Ferris work together for the first time, uncovering a safe house used by Hashim's men. Chapter 53, The Betrayal, revisited. Ferris discovers the person responsible for the original framing, the mastermind behind the murder and deception, is someone no one suspected. Even Zumar is shaken to the core. Chapter 54, The Black Box. Saadi had managed to hide a digital black box containing evidence against top-level politicians and generals. It's now missing. Whoever holds it has the power to destroy or save the nation. Chapter 55, Zumar under fire. Zumar's law license is suspended under false charges. She is attacked in public. The entire media turns against her, painting her as the manipulator. She fights back, using her intellect, strategy, and faith. Chapter 56, Saadi's location revealed through a decoding of Quranic verses. Saadi left behind. Ferris and Zumar tracked down his last known coordinates. Remote mountain lodge near the Afghan border. Chapter 57. The Great Escape. Ferris infiltrates the mountain facility. The suspense escalates as he fights trained guards, evades traps, and finally finds Saudi wounded but alive. They escape through a secret tunnel under gunfire. Chapter 58. When ants become lions back home. Zumar prepares for war. She gathers media, court allies, and whistleblowers. Her speech, referencing the power of ants from Surah and Namal, goes viral. You called us insects, but now the ants are awakened. They bite. Chapter 59. Hashim's fall begins. A secret video of Hashem confessing his crimes is leaked. His empire collapses piece by piece. His allies betray him. He becomes paranoid, violent, desperate. Chapter 60. The Final Face-Off, Part 1. Zumar confronts Hashem one last time. In a private estate, she arrives alone. He's armed and dangerous. The two share one of the most intense dialogues in the novel, full of pain, philosophy, and personal history. Chapter 61. The Final Face-Off, Part 2. As Hashim tries to kill Zumar, Saadi and Ferris arrive. In a shocking twist, Hashem turns the gun on himself after delivering a chilling monologue on power, sin, and legacy. Chapter 62. The ashes of power. The dust settles. The court cases are over. Zumar wins the biggest legal battle of her life. Ferris is completely exonerated. The corrupt judicial and intelligence officers are arrested or flee the country. Chapter 63. Saadi's decision. Saadi, now a hero, chooses to study law and Islamic philosophy. He speaks publicly about faith, trauma, and justice. His transformation is complete, from a broken child to a principled young man. Chapter 64. Ferris's redemption. Ferris leaves for Hajj. There, in the spiritual silence of Makkah, he weeps for the sins he never committed, but also for those he committed in duty. He finds peace for the first time in years. Chapter 65. Zumar's new life. Zumar opens a foundation for justice, fighting wrongful convictions and legal manipulation. She mentors young lawyers, including Saadi. Her spiritual journey deepens. Chapter 66. A letter from Hina. Final letter, written by Zumar's late sister, Hina, discovered from her old belongings, brings closure. In it, she confesses her own doubts and fears and begs Zumar to forgive Fariza letter she never sent. Chapter 67. The Revelations. Mar and Ferris discovered that they were both being guided unknowingly by the same Quranic verse at different times. Surah and Namal wasn't just a metaphor, it was their shared spiritual compass. Chapter 6, 8. The silent proposal. Ferris finally opens up his heart. In a moment of quiet, away from courts and crowds, he tells Zumar, "Not all love is loud. Some love is silent like an ant walking under your feet, yet powerful enough to change everything." Chapter 69. The wedding of Strength. Ferris and Zumar marry in a private ceremony. No grand celebrations, only simplicity, du'as, and peace. Saadi stands beside them, stronger than ever. Chapter 70. The legacy of Namal. Years later, Saadi gives a public talk on Surah An-Naml, reflecting on how it shaped their lives. The final scene shows a group of law students reading about the Namal case, inspired, awakened, and ready to fight for justice. The last line of the novel, "Sometimes the smallest creature carries the heaviest truth."